What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table we have another KeyForge tournament video for you, brought to you from Black Knight Games in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and brought to you by these awesome people that support the channel over at patreon.com/Rob's Gaming Table. If you'd like to donate to support the work I do here, feel free to click the link in the description below, and thank you to everyone else who supports the channel. On the left we have Nick, on the right we have myself. This is my Nord Advisor Smuggler of the Pub deck that you can find a deck analysis video for on my channel at Rob's Gaming Table on YouTube. You can also get there by clicking the link in the description below to see more about the deck that I'll be playing through. Many more tournament videos coming up on the channel as I followed myself through 2 tournaments at least with this thing. So you'll see lots of gameplay with it and see how the deck works. So it looks like my opponent's got a Niffleape and Flaxy out there. He's got 4 Amber off the full moon also. And it looks like I throw down Evasion Sigil Umbra. Start off with an Earth Shaker. And we got Shadow Self on the right flank, followed by an Archon. So 2 Archons being protected by Shadow Self there on my battle line. And that lets me also steal 2 of my opponent's Amber there, putting me up ahead, 3 Amber to 2. And why did Earthshaker was already out there. Yeah, I went first, so Earthshaker was down before the Niffleape. Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry, well, I was rambling there. I lost track of who went first. Alright, so take hostages from Sanctum here to gain an Amber. And he'll capture 1 each time a friendly creature fights. Throws down a Gorm of Ulm, which is some artifact removal. And Lady Maxina coming in, and on the play will stun Earthshaker. If you're new to the channel here at Rob's Gaming Table, please consider subscribing. If you want to see more KeyForge videos, make sure you slam that like button on these KeyForge videos. Let me know if you guys want to see more. And if I mess up any rules or miss anything in the game, or you catch me being a dirty cheater, playing something wrong, feel free to leave it in the comments below to help viewers of these videos in the future see that we've corrected ourselves and we can all learn from our mistakes here. So Inspiration's going to ready Flaxia there and use her, and she is going to fight Shadow Self, but Evasion Sigil's out there, so we just forgot that. Actually, I just caught it, so he has to discard the top card of his deck. And it's Shadows, so it's not of the active house, so the fight will go through. So Shadow Self's now 4 damage on him. Obviously, Flaxia doesn't take any back, since Shadow Self does not deal damage while fighting. And we're both tied at 3 Amber. So it sounds like I'm naming Shadows again. I got 3 cards in play, 3 creatures in play, sorry. I'm going to throw down a special delivery under the glare there. I get an Amber off that. That is the artifact that is an Omni. Allows me to sacrifice it to deal 3 damage to a flank creature. If it destroys it, it purges them. And I just reap with Shadow Self, Archon, and Archon to go up to, looks like 7 Amber there. Just trying to race to that first key. Now my opponent hasn't decided to pop Evasion Sigil using that Glorm of Ulm yet, which he could do on this turn. I believe it's an Omni. I don't think he could have yet. This is the first chance he gets here, since he just played it last turn. But now seeing Special Delivery, my hope is that has distracted him and makes him want to destroy that instead, so that I don't hit his Niffleape and purge it. Because I want that Evasion Sigil to stay out there. I don't need his Sanctum bodies and his Untamed bodies fighting me. And we see a Bear Flute go down. So another body in the Ancient Bear. Not sure how many he has in the deck, but we could see those be trouble. So it's always nice to see Evasion Sigil out there. But he is going to pop the Glorm of Ulm right now. And we'll see if it destroys an artifact and which one it'll be. It is Evasion Sigil. I think that's the right call. So now I'm exposed. He can fight away. And he just reaps with Flaxia and reaps with Niffleape. I thought for sure he was going to fight there. We're both laughing about it. He takes a while to decide. Gets rid of that Evasion Sigil, and I'm like, oh no, here come the dudes. And he doesn't even fight. So I think he's at 5 Amber there. And I get to forge my first key. 1 Amber remaining. So I forge for 6. So I'm ahead in the key race here. Yeah, it sounds like I'm naming Shadows again. I'm going to do the huge bait and switch here, getting, I think, 2 amber off my opponent, putting us at 3 apiece. Still good after forging a key, get a couple amber. I mean, my opponent wasn't on forging a key, but still. 2 amber off of playing a card is, you know, it's not the biggest bait and switch ever, but still better than most cards. And it looks like I'm going to pop it to pop the special delivery artifact to purge the Niffle And old Bruno's going to come in and capture the 3 remaining amber on him and hold that. He's a nice elusive uncommon card to delay the opponent. Then I'm going to do the 3 reaps again I did last turn with the double Archons and the Shadow Self to put myself at 6 amber on check for key number 2. My opponent's at 0 amber. And my opponent just said he can't stop that forge, it sounds like. Doesn't have the Sanctum Capture in hand or the Shadow Steel that he needs, I guess. This is round 3 of this tournament. We played Swiss tournament. I think it was 4 or 5 players that showed up. It was a Thursday night Archon tournament. Right before, I believe, they started Chainbound, or this might have been a Chainbound tournament where the tournament organizer didn't upload the results after or set the tournament to be Chainbound correctly, so we didn't get the results. So this deck still does not have chains on it. We have an Urchin coming to steal, so he can get me off a key. Thought he couldn't, but there's the Umbra on the left flank. So some future steal on the board, assuming he's still there and can fight. Has skirmish. My opponent's at 1 amber, I'm at 5. 1 key ahead. I got 4 Shadows creatures on the board. I mean, if I don't have any other Shadows cards in hand, it's still not bad to just reap with 4 creatures. But I could set myself up too far ahead that I could walk into a big bait and switch. But I do go Shadows. I throw down a Naughty the Thief.
Okay, so Naughty was actually steal one. That's what we've done. Or was that the one that you asked about before? Was it something else? Before we started the event. I guess I can't remember. Oh.
So I'm going to actually fight Urchin into Umbra. Yeah, I was trying to kill my Urchin there, I think. But instead, Shadow Self absorbs the damage and keeps the Urchin in play, and I realize it. And I don't take it back. I just take it, you know. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other Urchin, which kills Umbra. And Shadow Self's going to take the damage. And he's going to have 6 damage on Shadow Self, 3 away from dying. It's a weird way to get rid of the Umbra out of play, but I didn't want the old Bruno taking any damage. Seems like. And then I just reap with old Bruno and Shadow Self to go to 7. Feel a little safe going to 7 instead of, you know, 9 or whatever I would have gone to just reaping with everybody. So I put my opponent on check. Going for key number 2 again here. Can he get me off of a check? And he's going to go Sanctum. He's going to use the action on Lady Maxina. Looks like she's going back to hand there. And he can put her back out and do another stun. He's going to try to slow me down. I think he's going to try to stun Naughty the Thief. I mean, that's where I would go with that. Gatekeeper actually coming in to keep me off a key. He's going to capture all but 5. Then Champion Anafel throwing some taunt beside him to make him harder to attack. And Lady Maxina coming in on the other side of Champion Anafel there for the taunt protection. And he throws a stun at Naughty the Thief, as I thought might happen. That's the target I would go after. My opponent's still at 1 amber. So I got some breathing room here. I can maybe do a build turn here and just kind of put some more stuff on the board. But having 5 shadows, 4 that I can use, 1 I can get a stun off of, it's like, it's one of those situations where you just keep going with it while you have it before it's gone. But I might need to throw down some Brahmanar guys to deal with those Sanctum dudes. It's that internal struggle of fight versus a race. So I am going shadows. Naughty the Thief shakes off the stun. And I'm going to reap with old Bruno. Looks like I was debating a fight maybe with him. And I'm going to reap with the Urchin, Shadow Self, and the other Urchin again. And go up to 9. Oh, almost forgot my Nerve Blast in hand there. I thought I had no Shadows cards in hand. But I'm going to steal his 1 amber and deal 2 damage and go to Archon. So really high in amber here. Kind of setting myself up for a big bait and switch to be hit with. Hopefully that's not what I'm walking into here. But I figured even if I did get hit with a bait and switch and he doesn't do like, and that's the only Shadows card he plays or maybe one other, he is getting a bunch of amber, but my board I just keep going with Shadows, right? And he doesn't name Sanctum in that case. That's what I kind of was thinking. Maybe he'll name Shadows. And he's going to do Untame though and just try to race. And he plays Full Moon, so every creature he plays is going to gain an amber. Now he goes Bear Flute. Gets to search his discard pile and deck for a bear, or all his bears I get. No, I think it's just 1 bear actually at a time. And he does put it in hand. And then he shuffles his discard pile and his deck back together. But going Untame means most likely there's going to be no amber control here that I can think of to pull me off of a key. He just hasn't seen the bait and switch yet. So 2 Ancient Bears and a Snufflegator, so you should get 3 amber off that from the Full Moon. And Flaxia is still there. The other 3 came in exhausted, even though they're not really exhausted, but Flaxia is still able to be used. And Flaxia is going to fight Shadow Self and kill Shadow Self, not take any damage back, of course. So he's got to reduce my Shadows creatures here. I'm just going to keep choosing Shadows and going nuts. So I do forge my 2nd key for 6 amber, and I have 4 remaining. Start of my turn here. We know those Ancient Bears and Snufflegator and Flaxia are going to just try to rip through my Shadows board in a sec. So looks like I'm just going to go Shadows again and use them while they're there. And I got another Shadows card in hand, Special Delivery. I'm going to play that out for an amber. And I used Naughty the Thief's action to steal an amber. And 3 Reaps, Old Bruno, and 2 Urchins. Just get myself to check again, put pressure on my opponent. Maybe he can't name Untame again, and I'll have to name Shadows. But he doesn't have it, doesn't have the control. And that's a fast one. Thanks a lot for Nick for playing on camera. Thank you guys for watching. And if you want to support the channel, links in the description below for donations over at Twitch. Also hit that like button and subscribe. And I got many more tournament videos coming up for this Nordvisor Smuggler of the Pug deck. And like I said, you can check out the companion video where I go over the deck, which should be linked below. Thank you.